why I'm not buying another Taycan, at least yet anyway. And just because I'm not doesn't mean you shouldn't consider it. Hey guys, how's it going? Apologies, bit of a whirlwind edit this week. I was out and about filming this video originally, and when I got back, my footage decided that it no longer wanted to be footage. So I've had to shotgun film this video quite quickly. Hey, at least we're still in a car, even though it has been raining pretty hard. But the content is still absolutely the same. Wanted to provide you with my guidance as to why I'm not getting on board with another Taycan just yet. So if you follow the channel, you will of course have seen that I'm coming to the end of the PCP. Incidentally, I am 5 days over the end of this PCP, and I still haven't heard a thing from Mannheim. They're the auction company that are collecting this car, even though I've chased Porsche. And the reason for that is unknown, but I'm guessing Mannheim are probably looking down their list of Porsche Taycans for collection and thinking, wow, we probably need to get some more trucks right now. At least that's what may be happening. But effectively, I'm free motoring right now, so no complaints. What if they forget and I've just got this car forever? Do you think that'll happen? Who knows? But why I'm not getting another one. So this is a Gen 1 Taycan, and if I was going to get on board with another Taycan, it would have to be a Gen 1. Of course, I could settle the finance on this one to own it, but that would be insanity because it would be about 30 to 40k over the market price of this car right now. So that wouldn't make any financial sense whatsoever. I could follow it to auction. In fact, there are indeed people that will do this on your behalf. Folk out there who have access to the auctions that will look for your car and buy it for you, buy it back for you at a small cut. That could be an interesting place to go. But here is where I'd struggle with this. I would simply be getting another Gen 1 Taycan, and I've owned peak Gen 1 Taycan in this Turbo S platform right now, and it's been fantastic. But to have this car again would be too similar. And I couldn't help think in my head, oh no, those Gen 2s are out there with better range, better performance, and hopefully better reliability too. At least that's what we're seeing. But I'll get on to a few points around that in a bit. So effectively, I would be getting on board with another Gen 1 Taycan, which to me doesn't really sound appealing. This car has not been without its issues. Gen 1 already very short on range. In fact, this car does appear to have developed some form of AC charging issue recently. I'm diagnosing it at the moment, but it's not looking good. DC charging still working. I'll keep you posted on that. And of course, those Gen 2 Taycans is something I would consider, but at the moment, they're still too new, still too expensive, and they've got further to depreciate. Now, the Taycan, as I've always maintained, is overpriced at MSRP from a Gen 1 perspective, and especially from a Gen 2 perspective. So Gen 2, better range, better power, but also higher MSRP. So have they got further to fall, further to depreciate, more value loss? I think they potentially could. So the depreciation of these cars, not an ideal situation, but looking at the performance of the Gen 2s, it has blown up significantly. In that, the new Gen 2 Turbo S is a brand new league of its own. Doesn't exist in Gen 1. The Gen 1 Turbo S is the same as the new Gen 2 Turbo. So you are getting more bang for your buck with your car in terms of the range. All those range models have shifted up significantly with the Gen 2, and it just seems like a more reliable platform. Or does it? I do follow the forums like a hawk, and unfortunately I'm starting to see a few issues with Gen 2 Taycans now. It doesn't appear to be quite as severe as those Gen 1s, and tends to be a little bit more focused potentially on the software. At least that's what I can glean from what I've read on those forums. The software issues having a few woes, and Porsche partnering with Rivian to try and iron this out cannot come soon enough, because it's an important part of being able to use your car. Does it boot up? Does it work? Can you drive it? It's an expectation and something we've grown familiar with and taken for granted with the general reliability of combustion cars, and EVs absolutely need to follow suit. Appreciate some EVs seem to be far more reliable than others. Still early days for Porsche, but something they do need to get ironed out. Now, don't forget, if you're looking to buy a Taycan in the UK through a business, you still can until January 26 offset that capital expense against your profits, which is a really cost efficient way of buying a car. Now, if you do so, don't forget that car, that Taycan, is going to depreciate a lot as well. So your disposal costs when you get rid of it from the business will be less. That tax clawback that has to happen when you dispose of the car, if the car is worth less, the tax burden will be less. But don't forget, you're still losing a lot of value on the car itself, which is a lot to stomach potentially for a business that might not be turning over a lot. If your business is, don't worry about it, hide it, and congratulations to your business that's turning over a lot of money. Now, the other piece as well is any Gen 1 car, you need to consider the warranty situation as well. I would have to be getting a new warranty with this car. If I was to buy it back, I'd have to extend the warranty. And that is a warranty, given the history of this car, that I'd probably be using realistically. I've used it quite a bit on this. It's had battery issues, heater issues, etc. And I would absolutely not be running a Taycan without warranty. I would want that peace of mind, because any faults that it does develop, especially with the battery pack, are going to be quite significant. Now, don't forget the battery warranty is significantly longer than the standard warranty, so you're going to be covered for longer. However, I don't trust the car enough to just look at the standard warranty for anything that might go wrong beyond the battery pack. It could be another heater that packs up. Anything could happen with a Taycan. You never quite know. Incidentally, I am seeing a few reports of Macan EV owners, the new Macan EV platform, those owners having issues with their cars as well. Looks like from a software standpoint also. Can we be fully confident in Porsche's EV platform? I don't think so, not just yet. Anyway, if you found this useful, please do kindly consider a sub, massively appreciated. And don't forget, when we hit 10k subs, we will be donating £1,000 to charity. That's all right, isn't it? Now, one Taycan that does massively appeal to me is the hallowed GT. However, that car is still quite expensive, has depreciated, but it's got further to fall. And here is the thing. There is a Xiaomi SU7 Ultra on the way, potentially to the UK, which is half the price and has another 500 bhp more. And if you're considering getting a crazy fast car, would you look at the Taycan Turbo GT, or would you maybe consider that Xiaomi SU7 Ultra? It's getting a lot of great feedback. A lot of folk who've gotten access to it and driven it say it is really very, very good indeed. It kind of looks a bit like a Taycan as well. So a lot of eyes on that, especially if you pull up next to one at the lights in your GT, you might be left for dead. Does it handle as well? I hope to get out in one and give it a go. But the Taycan, again, proving itself, I think, to be a little bit overpriced. Also, most people say that EVs are just appliances on wheels, mobile phones on wheels. That linear acceleration is pretty sterile. But the handling of the Taycan, I think, is a lot of fun, and it is a great car to drive. I cannot stress enough how good and how joyous this car is to drive. It is brilliant. I love driving it. I'm going to massively miss it for sure. There is absolutely no denying that. And I probably, after a couple of weeks without this, should Mannheim decide to collect it at some point, fingers crossed they completely forget, then I will pretty much miss this car. I'm sure I will, because it's such a joy to drive, especially longer journeys. So comfortable, so quiet, so quick, so nippy, so good from a handling perspective. And that side of the car, the driving side, is something Porsche should be absolutely proud of with this car. They really should, despite all the negativity they may be getting around the depreciation, around the woes from a powertrain battery perspective. It is just a wonderful car to drive. The engineers have absolutely knocked it out of the park for this. So that is it for this video. A quick emergency refilm to get the content out. But do stay safe, stay well. See you on the next one, and bye for now.